Okay, let's talk about creating objects that are flat silhouettes of various colors for your designs. So it's a pretty straightforward process, but let's go ahead and get started. One of the easiest ways to do it, obviously, is copy and paste if you find a silhouette in there, and then remove the background. Or what you can do is make a selection. So I've used my rectangular marquee tool. And I make sure that my contextual taskbar is up here. If not, I need to go up to Window and make sure that contextual taskbar is checked. And then I'll be able to use generative AI to do this. So what I'm going to do is to create a reindeer, but I'm going to want it to have sort of a vector flat silhouette shape to it, applied to it. So I'm going to say flat um, black reindeer vector shape and click generate. See what happens with that. Now, I might get a couple of different options. Some are closer than others, but and then we can kind of make adjustments to the prompt and to what we're seeing here as well. So let's see what it does. It kicks back after thinking for a while. You know, AI's got to think. It's got to drain energy. That was pretty good. It looks like it kind of chopped off the legs a little bit. This one, maybe not as much. This one's pretty good. I don't want that extra little white line around it. So what I'm going to do is come back to that first one. Then I'm going to click on the three dots and generate similar. Then it's going to think and hopefully it'll produce something that's just a straight silhouette that we can use in our design. Okay, getting closer. Perfect. It's not really a reindeer, it's more of a deer, but you know what? That's going to work okay. Maybe if it had another leg, it would look a little bit more realistic, but I could certainly use this. So if I do decide to use this, um, what I want to be mindful of, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and turn on this background so that you can see it, and I'm going to bring it up above. But you'll notice that it's still on the white background. And so we need to remove that background. Right now, though, you can't. That's not an option in the contextual taskbar. So what we need to do is to rasterize that AI-generated shape. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click and choose Rasterize Layer. Okay, and now when I click on that, yeah, here we go. I'm able to remove the background. I'm going to click OK. And there we go. So now when I zoom in, it did a pretty good job about removing the background. There's a little bit of white space in there. So remember, you can paint on the mask. Black conceals, white reveals. So I'm going to use the paintbrush and I'm going to choose the black from the option. And I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller for that area within there. And then, you know what, I'm going to zoom in even a little bit more. There we go. And then I can make it a little bit bigger as we go. And I'll just paint out that white area, right? Because I really want it to have just the black silhouette. And, you know, I can see like a little bit of gray happening in there, which is, you know, for me, that's going to be okay. So what if, though, I want to have it be a different color? Best idea first off is to apply this mask to the layer. So it goes away and it just becomes an object with a transparent background, right? So if I hide the white background, I can zoom down there and it looks like my head's in the way. Let me try that again. I'm not sure why that's not working there. There we go. My head was in the way. Now you can see that it's transparent. Which is good. And so if we want to preserve that and do some edits on it, best idea is to apply that mask because you can see actually this bounding box goes on the outside way around it. So it's looking at the white background as part of this image. And we want it to just be really snug up against that reindeer right there. So I'll go ahead and right click and apply layer mask. And now you can see we're good to go. So a couple ways to color it. If you use your paint bucket, you could certainly do that. That's one way. That's probably the easiest way. Another way, though, is to add a solid color. And we're going to choose that and click OK. And then it disappeared. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, it's underneath. So what we're going to do is right click on that layer and choose Create Clipping Mask. And what it does is it clips that layer to any pixels on the layer below, thus painting that deer or whatever object it is that you wanted. So that's introduction to that. Hopefully that helps. You can just make sure that you remove the background because, again, if you don't remove that background, it's going to make it a little bit more tricky to edit as you want.